Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am going to be playing with some new makeup today, and a couple of these things, actually 3 or 4 of these things I have shown on my Instagram Get Ready With Me's that I post every week, but I know not all of y'all follow me on Instagram that follow me on here, so I wanted to use them again, and I wanted to do pretty much a full face of new products, newish products, and give you my thoughts. The foundation that I'm going to be using, I feel like is pretty hyped up right now. We're going to be talking about that, and yeah, just lots of new things, and hopefully put together a decent look. So let's get started. So the only thing I've done is my brows, I primed my eyes, and I put a little bit of corrector. I am using it's not new because I've gone through 2 of these, but the Fit Glow Beauty corrector I pulled out of my backup drawer the other day, and I've been using that ever since. So that's what I have on my under eyes. So let's go ahead and get started with the foundation. So this is the new Rcma liquid foundation. Now I had purchased pretty much right after it launched these little samples from the Rcma website. I purchased quite a few of them because I wanted to not only see if I wanted to include it in my professional kit, but I also wanted to see if I did choose to, which colors I wanted to include. So they come in little baby sizes like this, and they're basically little doe foots. What I found is that for me personally, the color that I need is probably in between some of the colors that I got. So I am going to mix together N310 and P230. So those are the 2 colors that I'm going to mix together. I'm going to put them on a little palette that I have here. I think, I didn't watch, but I feel like from some of the hype that I've seen that Tati did a video on this foundation, and I believe she absolutely loves it. I will preface this little demonstration with saying that the Rcma cream foundation has been a favorite of mine for years. It is what I was trained on in makeup school. It is something that I have had as a staple in my kit for a very long time. It's beautifully manipulated to work on every skin type. It's full of pigment. It's just glorious. Lasts all day. I love it. So I was really excited when they came out with this liquid version, because personally, I love a good liquid foundation. So I'm going to stipple this in with my BK Beauty 101 brush. This is definitely not the first time that I have used this. I've used it quite a few times, quite a few different ways. I have mixed in some illuminating products into it. I have used it with different powders. This says it has a butter powder included in it that creates a creamy texture that doesn't allow the skin to dry out. It improves the skin's feel, instant wrinkle hiding, and texture improvements. I don't really know what wrinkle hiding means, but maybe blurs imperfections. I don't know. They do have quite an extensive shade range. They have golden undertones, neutral undertones, and pink undertones. I will say the golden is very golden, which is appropriate for some skin types. But if you are, maybe you buy golden or warmer tones in other foundations, I would still suggest getting samples of this, because the golden, like I said, is super golden, way more golden than some other foundations I have used that are in the warm category. But then again, the pink isn't like pink. That's why I'm able to mix it with the neutral and have it work. Now it claims to have a unique, lightweight, all-day wear that enhances your natural radiance. You'll be glowing at all occasions. It's high-defining liquid foundation. It's made with olive oil-derived material, giving a full coverage hydration without clogging your pores. Helps to replenish the skin while enhancing your already natural beauty. It's talc-free, gluten-free, cruelty-free, paraben-free, and vegan. I will say I don't feel like applying it that it is the most moisturizing foundation. I don't get that at all. In fact, it dries very quickly. So you definitely want to work in sections like I just did, because if I were to dot it all over my face and then go in, it would be too dry to blend out appropriately, in my opinion. Let's do the liquid concealer. This is made with the same type of ingredients as the foundation. It's supposed to be super full coverage. It comes in a pump bottle, and while I can appreciate this, what I don't like about it is that one pump is way too much. In fact, in the description, it even says a little goes a very long way. So unless you are very controlled in how you distribute the product, you are going to end up wasting some of that concealer. It says it's highly pigmented, all day wear, and good for the under eyes and the face. So I'm just going to put a very tiny amount right here, kind of on my upper cheekbone. And then I'm going to take a sponge and I'm going to blend it upwards. Now I got the color in 30. This is almost green on me. It's got that really good olive tint. If you have an olive skin tone, I do not. So it pulls a little green. I don't find it to be neutral. Now I don't know if that's going to come across on camera or not, but that is my experience. I will show you on my palette when I'm done how much product I still have left from one pump. I get why they did the pump. This is a professional brand. It's more sanitary to have a pump on a concealer for kit use. So I totally understand that. For personal use, I would have preferred a doe foot. Now this is how much, you can see my camera. Hello. That's how much I have left of the concealer. That's a lot. That could have done 3 days worth. So just keep that in mind if you get this. I don't like the concealer. I'm going to tell you, I am taking one for the team and I'm putting it on for this video, but I absolutely do not like the concealer. Almost from very first application, like from setting it until the end of the day, I don't like it. It looks pretty bad on me throughout the day. All the C's that we've talked about before that we don't want in our concealer, cakey, crepey, crackly, creasy, all those things happen to me with this concealer. I am sure it's going to work great for other people, but for me, it is a no-go. The foundation is pretty much a no-go too. I will not be adding it to my kit. I will be sticking with the original cream foundation, which again, I cannot stress enough how fabulous that is, especially if you are an artist and you're looking for a foundation, kind of a do-all complexion product. Foundation, concealer to put in your kit. I highly recommend grabbing one or more of the cream palettes, but the foundation just does not wear well on me. It patches off, it cakes up. It's not the best. So I know that it's got a lot of hype around it, and I know that there are going to be people out there who love it, and that's fine, but I wanted to give my 2 cents on it. That it's not my favorite. I keep telling myself I need to use this as an all-over foundation, and I will do that and let you guys know, because I did buy the full size of that, obviously, and not samples. I don't want it to go to waste. I do have one more cream product that is so brand new. I haven't even swatched it. This is one of the brand new Cheeky Clean cream blushes from Beautycounter. If you don't know, Beautycounter has had some of my very favorite blushes, powder pressed blushes ever. I love them so much. I loved every color. They worked fabulous. They lasted all day for a blush, and then they discontinued them. I'm like, well, what are you doing? They discontinued that and my favorite eyeshadow palette, the classic palette. They recently came out with a new range of cream blushes. Now they had cream blushes in the past in the form of like a roll-up stick. I prefer this component. I like that it is in a compact. It is a white compact. It's pretty. It's, 4.5 grams, 0.15 ounces. I got the color Havana, which I just noticed is not on the compact. Don't like that at all. It's on the box, but the color is not on the compact. So we shall see how this works. I'm gonna use my Royal & Nickel Omnia BOM 185 brush. This is my favorite brush to use with cream blush. And that mirror is not big enough. I wanted like a little bit of a lighter pink shade. Oh, that's a pretty color. That's exactly the color that I wanted. So I'm glad I picked this shade. It's not always easy to pick online. It's almost like a baby doll pink. That's how I describe this kind of pink, and I love it. Yep, I like that a lot. So I will put a note down in the description box on how I feel like it wore, because it's gonna be really hard to compete with the longevity of the powder blushes. Blush is always the first thing to go on most people, especially me. So I was so impressed with how amazingly long wearing the powder blushes were. So it's gonna have to step up to some competition, and we'll see. I mean, it's cream, so we shall see. Now I'm going to let all of that sink in, and we're gonna start on the eyes, and I'm gonna be using the brand new Wayne Goss Luxury Eye Palette in Tourmaline. Look at how beautiful this palette is. So pretty, oh my goodness. These are the swatches. So it has a real pretty, right down here, peach shimmer shade. It has a couple of really pretty, like, I don't wanna say purple. They're more burgundy plum. It's got one really pretty brown, a pretty bronze, and then the kind of topper gold shimmer shade. Now, while I am going to try to do this look and make it only from this palette, I do feel like it's not as like all-in-one look inclusive type palette as the Pearl palette. His Pearl palette, I feel like, is one that I can take with me traveling and not need anything else and get multiple eye looks out of it. This one, I do think for the most part, you're gonna need to add a little bit of something else with it. But for today, we're gonna just work out of this, and I'm gonna take this number 5 shade right here, this pretty burgundy shade, which if you've been following me for any length of time, you know is one of my favorite eyeshadow shades, along with peach. So both of those colors being in here was an immediate yes. When I saw this palette on social media before it launched, I had no doubt that I would be purchasing it. And I'm taking this on my Refer number 1 brush. I'm laying it down all over the lid, and then I'm going to turn the brush on its side and take that color up into the crease as well. So you can see it's just one large wash of color, which I love doing with this kind of shade, and which makes this palette something you don't need to go in to another one for when you're just gonna be using a few different shades like this. But if you're wanting to really brighten up the inner corner, or, you know, want a super dark color for a liner or something, you're gonna have to get something else. But look at how pretty that is. Now I am gonna take my Refer number 2 into this peach shade, which is more of like a satin shade than any kind of metallic. And I'm gonna put that in the center of the lid just to brighten everything up. And I'm gonna take this number 3 shade right here, which is much darker, but has a little bit more of a sheen. Here's the thing about these Wayne Goss palettes though, even though the products or the shadows may have a sheen, they can go, to me, where matte colors typically go. So I have no issue using, obviously, this color as a liner, or using any of the colors in any of the other palettes that have a sheen, minus these topper colors in the crease. I mean, they all are so forgiving that it works. So that's all I'm gonna do on the top, using 3 of these colors. So these 3 right here, so it's my viewfinder's backwards. This is so hard. This one, and this one, that V kind of make one good look, and then this V makes a more neutral look. Obviously, you can mix them all together. I don't want to do a ton of setting to this because I don't want to take away the cheek color too much, but I do want to dial down some of this luminosity on the forehead especially. So this is not new, but I'm going to take the By Terry Hyaluronic Pressed Hydra Powder in Colorless. And this brush is new. This is the Refer number 30 brush. It's one of their new holiday brushes. And I'm just going to lightly set those areas. And just because I have a feeling somebody's gonna ask, yes, I have tried and loved the Rcma No Color Powder. I carry it in my kit, adore it, have gone through multiple of the kind of spice jar tubes that they come in. For bronzer, I'm gonna use a new one I got from the drugstore. This is the Physicians Formula Butter Cake Bronzer. Also something I have used on Instagram, but haven't talked about here. And they came out with like butter donut, butter cake, something else. I think there's like 3 new ones in this line. And this one had the best reviews from what I saw on Ulta's website. So I picked it up while I was in Ulta the other day, a couple weeks ago. And this is a little bit of has a little bit of a sheen to it. It's pretty warm too, so don't be alarmed when I apply it to the face, because I found that out on the Instagram video. When I first applied it, I was like, oh, well, that's nice and warm, but it works out. And this is the Bobbi Brown bronzer brush that I'm using to apply it with. And again, it has a little bit of a sheen, but it doesn't come off sparkly on the face. So I don't want to cover too much of that blush. I can always put more on if I need to, but it does smell like cake. Never can go wrong with that, in my opinion. So as far as like bronzers go, I like it. It's very pretty on the skin. I think that sheen actually looks good on the skin. I like a bronzer with a little bit of sheen. So that's the Physicians Formula Butter Cake Bronzer. Now for highlight, I'm gonna use one of the new pressed shadow, the multi-use pressed shadow and blushes from Fit Glow Beauty. And this is in the shade Golden Hour. So it's this one right here. Really, really pretty. I haven't gotten the other 4 shades that I have purchased yet, but look at that. These are more eyeshadow shades, except for obviously the one I'm using can be a highlight, but the ones that I ordered have a couple blush shades in them as well. Huge pans. Freeze Co Beauty is carrying them, so you can use my discount. Really, really nice. And then you can also purchase the pan, the refillable pan, if you want to store them in that as well. But I mean, really pretty highlight, really pretty eyeshadow as well. I used that palette on my most recent Instagram Get Ready With Me, which I will probably have saved in highlights as Fit Glow Beauty, if you want to check that out. So now I'm going to go in with my Rephr 13 brush back into this number 5 shade and use this under the eye to round it out. Again, no new techniques here. I just want to show you the use of the products, give you my thoughts. I do like this palette. I would say out of, well, I don't have the blue one. I have his other 3. So I would say out of the 3, this is still probably number 3, but I still love it. I would say Pearl is my favorite. Imperial Topaz is second. And then this one would be third. But again, that's like not really fair to rank them because I do love them all. I'm going to go back into the Golden Hour from Fit Glow and use that in my inner corner just to brighten it up a little bit, especially since I used purple tones. Purples and grays can sometimes make you look bruised. So I like to ensure I have a really bright inner corner when I use those shades. Okay, my mascara is kind of new, but I've definitely talked about it a lot on this channel, and it's the Jane Iredale Beyond Lash Volumizing Mascara. So the only thing we have left is lips. This is kind of a repeat again from Instagram. I used it on my last Get Ready With Me, but it's so pretty. And I've been using it almost every day, and it's a little bit brighter than I normally go for, so y'all should be proud of me. But it's the new, one of the new lip color serum shades from Fit Glow, and it is called Fresh. So very, very, very pretty, vibrant pink color. I think it goes really well with the shades in this eyeshadow palette. And I love these not only because they're moisturizing, but because they're buildable. So I can just stay here, or I can put another layer on and have even more color. The only other thing that I want to share with y'all is a new perfume that I have already applied today, but I had to share it with y'all. I posted about this on my stories. This is from Navitus Perfumes, and I got this because I was just in the mood for a yummy gourmand. So I wanted to show you how it comes packaged. You open it up, there is a card in it that has all the notes, and then this is the pretty presentation of the perfume. This is 3.4 ounces, 100 mils, beautiful bottle. I think the bottle is way prettier in person than it appears to be online. Now this is called Soir Exclusif, And y'all, this is good, good. I will tell you the notes really quickly. It has top notes of almond, blood orange, coffee, and Brazilian orange. Middle notes of marshmallow, licorice, orchid, and French tonka bean. Base notes of vanilla, balsam, ambergris, driftwood, musk, and oakwood. Oh my goodness. It is fall and winter in a bottle. It is sweet, but it's sexy. It's a little bit darker, but I'm still obviously wearing this during the day. It's really smooth. It's really warm, but I get the majority of the notes that I get are the almond, the marshmallow. I get some of the tonka bean. The vanilla comes through, and the coffee. Those are like the most notes that I get. I don't really get the ambergris, the driftwood, the oakwood. I don't even really get licorice that much. Licorice is not one of my most favorite notes, but it definitely doesn't come through enough for me to not like this because I wore it all day yesterday and it was so good that I could not wait to wear it again today. So Navitus Perfumes Soir Exclusive. Okay, so that is the finished look playing with new makeup. I feel like the only thing that really was a dud for me is the foundation and the concealer. I mean, I would say I'm sorry, but it's just my personal experience. They just don't work out for me that well. Everything else though, I really like, and I will put a note down in the description box again about the blush because that's really the only thing that I have not worn before. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Let me know what other new makeup products you want to see me review down in the comment section below. Everything will be listed and linked as always in the description box. Be sure and like and subscribe before you leave so you don't miss out on any future videos. I hope you're all staying happy, healthy, safe, and sane, and that most of all, you go out and have a very blessed day.